Does winning just happen in a single moment?
They're Overwatch League champions!
No, it's an entire journey to get to the peak. All the years of preparation, hard work, grinding have led you to this moment. But now, there's one last step to get to that glory. Because this time, if you want to take the crown, you'll have to come and get it.
That's an incredible play! No one can stop him!
Oh my goodness!
You got to be joking!
All that matters now is closing that distance and turning your dreams into reality. You push through the challenges, defy the odds.
That's an ungodly team fight! This is their time to shine!
You've come this far. You want this. Come and take it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Overwatch League 2021 playoffs. We're finally here, the end of the season, and at the end of the week we will be crowning a champion to place themselves on the banners that you see before you. What a ride it's been over the course of this year. And it is finally time. We're going to start the show off with an absolute banger of a match. The Washington Justice versus the Dallas Fuel. So much upset potential here. But of course, my name is Brennan Hook. I'm joined by Joshua Wilkinson. And believe it or not, we're actually in person.
Would you believe it?
We can
Would
touch
you
each other.
believe
There
it?
you go.
The end of the year.
What has it been, like a year and a half? A year and a half, I think, since we've been casting in person. But we found the technology.
And also, we're casting the best matches of the year. This is the end of the 2021 season. This is also our last opportunity to crown the best team of Overwatch 1 as well.
Yep.
How incredible is that to have that place in the history books, that legacy right there before you. All of these teams can reach out and touch it. Only 14 matches left.
Absolutely, yeah, coming so close to the very end. And we're starting things off with the Washington Justice versus the Dallas Fuel. The set has already set, the desk, I should say, has already set us up for the kind of expectations of this match. In fact, all of them, including the fan poll, went with the Dallas Fuel with its opening match
and
here.
you'd think then it must be so one-sided. Dallas the clear favorites.
I don't know about that, Josh. I mean, the Washington Justice, if there's anything I know about this franchise, they love to turn up at the end of the year. And yeah, this might be another showcase where we end up saying and telling the story. But without further ado, let's introduce your first team, the Washington Justice.
This team is absolutely jacked. The Justice right now are about to drop the gavel. Bebe turns up very clutch. Save.
What a move! That's all closer.
The Washington Justice make a splash. That's a Fantana. What a play from Mag. Decay for 3.
Oh my goodness! Yuri, this is absurd!
Oh, it's huge. Absolutely massive from Assassin.
And here they are, the Washington Justice, a squad that's had a lot of ups and downs over the course of the season, but as I mentioned previously, this franchise, no strangers to heating up when it really matters most. And there's no better time to do it than the end of the year for the overall playoffs. And in terms of who they're playing up against as well, they're going to be pretty pleased, I think, to be going up against the Dallas Fuel here. A lot of these guys, very renowned when it comes to Overwatch as well. I mean, such highly talented players, and if they can come alive and they can bring it all together right here, right now, that's all that people are really going to remember them.
Yeah, and last year was dominated by that lower bracket playoffs run, or just a playoff run in general, from Decay. He had joined the Washington Justice. He was playing Zarya at the time. You're more likely to see him pick up Tracer, those kind of heroes this year, but it's still playoffs Decay. It's what Custer was talking about before this game, and that's one of the players, at least, that the Washington Justice are going to be relying on in order to get a similar run happening in 2021.
Yeah, and we'll see what they're going to be able to do against the next team, of course. Now it's time to introduce the Dallas Fuel.
They're such an anomaly. They're one of a kind. They're so unique, you cannot prepare for the Dallas Fuel.
Dallas Fuel are operating on another level. This is a masterful machine with all of the cogs working in the right way. These mechanics. The mechanics! Oh my word! 6-man anti! 6-man anti! Wow!
It's gigantic!
Playing so aggressive! is that?
That is disgusting.
Doha from the side! You've got to be joking!
Today, those that burn blue, burn brightest.
Successful franchises this year in terms of their accomplishments. They had a pretty, laissez-faire take, I suppose, at the tail end of the season, taking it very easy. But now they're looking to get back into the swing of things with this first match here in the overall playoffs.
And you can see just from those little glimpses into the attitudes of the players on the Dallas Fuel. They love having fun, but part of that is their camaraderie. And it's one of the biggest reasons that they've been successful this year. There isn't a team out there with the same level of team synergy and coordination as the Fuel when they are playing at their peak. This squad is nasty good, and led, of course, by your coach of the year for the 2021 season, Rush, who was essentially handed the keys to the Dallas Fuel franchise and asked to build a team capable of winning the championship. I'd say the Fuel fans can be pretty happy with what they've accomplished so far. A win in the main melee, second place in the June Joust as well, third at the Summer Showdown. But it's all about performing when it matters, and it's the end of the season. That's when everything is on the line. That's when your place in the history books can be written down, jotted in, and just immortalized forever.
They're looking to try and get that solid lock. Of course, the championship title isn't essentially decided until the end of the week. Plenty matches to play from then to now, starting with this one here on Lijiang Tower. And that's Dallas Fuel with the highest seed coming into this match. They did end up getting to pick this first map, but as you can see from the rest of the order of the matches, it's going to be loser's pick. That's how we've been doing it in the tournaments all season long. That's how we're going to continue to do it here.
And the Justice, potentially their first map pick, if they're not able to complete on Lijiang, would be Assault. These are going to be our last few opportunities to take a look at Assault matches as well.
True.
As we think about how things are going to shift and change. Enjoy your tank synergy. Enjoy your Assault matches. Enjoy these final playoffs. 14 matches. And this, the first of them, starting on Lijiang. Both of these teams have such similar styles, like the desk was talking about, that ego duel against the Winstons, the Reinhardts. What are they going to come out with here today?
It is interesting, isn't it, that it was the Dallas Fuel ended up picking the Washington Justice, and stylistically, they are quite similar. The entire time, as you mentioned, Josh, the desk pointed it out, and they were showing all the graphics, including the hero usage, and they are matched quite equally in terms of what they like to play for both of these teams here. And if the Justice end up turning up like they've done previously, this franchise always heating up towards the playoffs, it could pose trouble here for the Dallas Fuel, who've looked pretty comfortably on top for most of the season, but they're rolling out here.
And it's a mirror matchup from both sides. The Reinhardt v Reinhardt with Sim and May. Early positioning gained here for the Fuel, and Fury already out of mech. Yeah,
that's a massive, massive trade-off right there. Washington Justice not going to be really able to fight this at all. It's going to be essentially a 5v6 when Fury's on it. Another perfect May wall. Look at that. Immortality Field comes through, but it's a little bit too late for that. The Washington Justice going to be toppling over as Mag and Decay end up falling at the beginning of the fight. The Dallas Fuel in prime position now to take this point and hold a pretty nice forward position.
The Dallas Fuel got such a fast rollout. Early positioning was phenomenal, and then that May wall that came out from Doha isolating Mag, and he was able to do essentially nothing in that team fight. He basically just had to walk backwards with his shield up the whole time. He's only at 16% of his ult charge, and they're already in.
I mean, that's so quick. Already the Amp Matrix just dropped down. The damage being done. Fearless so close as well to this Earth Shadow. He's just holding for the time being, the shield up, just trying to essentially mitigate as much damage as possible, but he has to back off around the corner. Bebe dropped down their own window. It did force the Dallas Fuel back for but a moment, and now with the symbol dropped across as well, it's going to be splitting them right across, intersecting from both teams, trying to use it to wiggle their way around, but Sparkle has already gone down. A massive part of the Dallas Fuel's damage is now going to be missing in this team fight, and Mag as well, nothing to really stop him as well, perfectly happy to just keep cleaving through the enemy. An easy team fight win here, honestly, for the Washington Justice. Not really pressured in any way.
Both teams used their Symmetra ults in that fight, but the crucial difference was that Fearless sent out that shadow that he was able to build so early on, and I believe it was Mag with the block. Not a single player knocked to the floor from the Justice, defended by their Reinhardt. Such a key and central player. We've seen Mag play aggressive in the past. Have they got some kind of teleport to Earth Shadow shenanigans up their sleeve? It's going to be Dallas with the engage.
Yeah, right up onto the high ground. It's going to be hard for Mag to get too much value out of it, but he drops it down anyway. 2 players straight onto the floor. Jexa immediately responds to the soundbite, trying to keep the team up with the Blizzard, though, drop down as well. The Washington Justice would have got the pick onto Sparkle. Again, a lack of damage for them. That's Blizzard off into the back, though. You see Bebe did end up falling from that one, but it is incredibly scrappy from either side. Still, nothing to put Decay in check. It's going to be shredding through them with the charged up beam, and it is still the Washington Justice in control.
And now Dallas forced to make some adjustments. They used a lot of ultimates to try and turn that fight around, and the Justice are in control of the point and now have overtaken them, head into the lead. Sparkle swaps onto his signature hero, the Doomfist. He's able to get so much work done, and it plays so nicely into Decay's sim. It's squishy. Decay has to stay alive and get value over time.
We'll see, he's right into the back line here, dropping around every single corner, but what an earth shatter! You've got to be kidding me. The team obviously follows up on that straight away. It was Sparkle, of course, who got the opening pickoff that they needed. But that is exactly what you need to try and turn around the tide of that fight. A good team fight win, going to be flipping control over of the point as well. So now they can start to try and accrue up some of that percentage.
That's a crucial team fight for Dallas to win. That gets them back in control without having to invest too many ultimates. Great plays there by Sparkle and Fearless, the 2 superstar players that are on this Fuel roster. Here comes Sparkle again around the side, but he's been dodged.
Yeah, it's going to be going straight in, though, with a seismic slam. The punch as well has the meteor strike.
Aggressive.
And a cooldown. Set back up, baby. That's the patch for you. Already he's got his punch. The seismic slam dropping straight onto them anyway. Meteor strike doing a ton of work there as well. And Sparkle just making real quick work at Washington Justice here. Back to the respawn queue. Going to have to reset this one now. And it's looking like almost potentially final team fights here.
Justice are going to have to be careful here as well. There's almost certainly going to be a fire strike through the amp matrix for the Dallas Fuel. It's a little set play that they love doing, and Field has got his online. Any of the squishy players for the Justice could die in a single hit. Decay going for a bit of a fake teleporter there as the rest of them go towards the point.
Trying to base some sort of engage. Sparkle already into the back. Mag holding onto this Earth Shatter. It's very difficult to get value out of it, though. The sim wall just splitting up the map right in the middle, and that is a beautiful one still. Hanbin sends the bomb straight over the top, and it was an instant immortality field to keep them up. Fearless answering one of his own, and there is no boop to stop him. The pin comes through, connects in the end. And it's a last-ditch Blizzard in the end. Will only connect onto Fearless there. Nice block to just try and keep this overtime going, but Assassin not going to be able to get too much done. That's going to be round number 1 going to the Dallas Fuel here.
The first round of the 2021 playoffs, and it was a carnage. Both sides completely in that. Could have been Justice's game, but the Dallas Fuel, especially Fearless with those Earth Shatters, and Sparkle making that clutch swap over to the Doomfist, wrestle things back into their control. I wonder, are we going to see Sparkle commit to this as well? I love him playing the Doom. He has so much explosive potential. Let's take a look at this replay as well. This was Fearless's first of the Earth Shatters, I believe.
Yeah, dropped it down. I mean, he got good value out of this one.
Just sneaking his way past Mag's shield as well.
Yeah, both Reinhardt players. I mean, you have so much to watch for with the sim walls as well. They're just splitting up the point, but besides the point, you're in the playoffs, you've got to shake it behind you if you end up on the back foot of that one and straight back into it. We see the Dallas Fuel, they were teasing a bit of a composition, but they are going to be just playing the mirror comps against one another here. So again, the Symmetra and the May in play.
Look how aggressive their positioning is to start out these team fights. They've got Justice playing the defense at all times. Justice using their teleporter, they maneuver onto the point. There's still 9 seconds before this objective unlocks, so still time for the Dallas Fuel, and Fearless is already in the back.
I don't know how Fearless even got that, presumably a TP, but still not going down. In fact, the team follows up on it straight away, still. Sparkle goes down. Decay is going to be empowered as well. Really doing a ton of charge-up damage there for it, and it's the Washington Justice with a better look at that engagement, and yet all off the back of Fearless really just getting split up from the rest of his team.
Deliberately as well, though. Fearless went into the back of the teleporter play, almost as if they're trying to finish the team fight in the first 5-10 seconds. That isn't getting value out of your sim. Decay, on the other hand, manages to stay alive with a more passive, reactive Justice, and he's already nearly got his ultimate online. Both teams as well with an amp matrix that could get major value, and again we see Sparkle swapping over to the Doom.
Yeah, making the switch over. We'll see, not too many angles that he might be able to approach from. There's the teleport and the amp matrix drops down, but he's already found it. Decay deleted, sent straight back to the respawn queue. Nice little fire strike though. It's going to be a nice fade away from Mag, still holding into the corner. Fearless trying to stay alive. The shield eventually broken though. Has to be wary. He knows Mag is coming close to this Earth Shatter, just doesn't know the exact percentage of it. It's an instant disengage over from Dallas Fuel. Bit of a micro disengage. Now they're going to be going back into the fight, but that ice wall, look at that. The May wall splits them up perfectly. Sound barrier on the Washington Justice, overlapping all of them, keeping them all nice and healthy on top of the Blizzard. They've got more than enough to lock them up.
A slow generation of the sound barrier from Jexa there, and that's essentially what loses the team fight. There is an engage from the Dallas Fuel, but they just don't have that extra defensive ultimate to be able to match closers. And instead, they just have to try and skill it with Fearless dropping his Shatter. Again, finds nothing. They're really living or dying by these big engages from Sparkle, from Fearless, and now they are firmly on the back foot. Looks like the Justice are in prime position to tie this up.
Yep, TP straight up to the top there. You can see already though, that's Doha going down. Earth Shatter does not connect actually. It's going to be the uppercut of Sparkle that completely disrupts the flow of it. And he's already got into the back climb. Decay so low, not enough to bring him down. It does send in that self-destruct though, and with the symbol again to split up the point. It's going to be matched with the Washington Justice once again. Decay still alive, by the way, still charging up and putting out so much work for them. Somebody needs to take care of him, otherwise he's just going to start absolutely tearing through everyone on the Dallas Fuel.
It's this slow pace from the Justice, just empowering Decay. As long as they can pocket him and keep him alive, he's doing so much work for them. Melts down the opposing sim on the other side. There goes Jexa back to the respawn queue as well. And as Dallas throw in bodies, has Sparkle done enough with those 2 picks? It doesn't seem like it.
Teleport also gets destroyed, so any stragglers that are going to be coming back from the Dallas Fuel not able to get back into the fight fast enough. The Justice flip over the point. Now they just need 10%. That's going to be trying to re-engage very quickly to try and get this overtime going. There's the teleport right back onto the point. Straight away, Fearless dropping the Shatter, but blocked once more by Mag. Sparkle still into the back and still putting in the good work here. Punch is not going to be connecting, but does still have the Meteor Strike. They still need to deal with Decay though. Right up onto the side, falling so low. Okay, almost going down there, but already the Washington Justice. With the Blizzard splitting them all across, they've got enough damage and lockdown here onto the objective. The Dallas Fuel really didn't stand a chance into that one. It's going to be them taking away the round and bringing us now 1-1.
Fantastic play from the Justice, controlling the pace of the game so well. Every attempt from the Fuel to crack open that defense failed devastatingly. Every time Sparkle went in, dealt with. He wasn't even able to finish off Decay in the few moments where he was able to get on top of him. And Fearless's Shatters, unlike round 1, did not find the same level of value. Plus, we saw a big Lucio difference, with Closer heavily outpacing Jexa when it comes to that ultimate generation charge. I love this first game though. Immediately on Lijiang, we've got this mirror match between the 2 teams. Blow for blow with the Reinhardts at the front and center of it. These are the 2 best Reins that we have in the league right now. Mag, #1 in most statistics, and Fearless just been dominant on this as well. A beautiful way to start off the 2021 playoffs.
Yeah, the clash between similar styles as well of both these teams. Hunting for just one target that they can potentially try and isolate there with the May wall. You can see them wait for it. Already
Jexa goes down.
Fallen. An early pick for them. That's an Immortality Field forced out relatively early on for them, but it's going to be difficult for the Dallas Fuel to try and edge out a win into this fight as well. And look at this, Decay already into the back, charging up the beam. There's nothing to stop him, nothing to disrupt him, nothing to push him back. It's an easy team fight win to start things off here, and this is the Justice when they look scariest.
And how do you try and crack this now? The Justice are going to be able to bunker down on the objective, wait for the Fuel, scout out which position they're coming from, and counter them blow for blow. I mean, look at the difference again in terms of the Lucio generation. This time, not particularly Jexa's fault, you could argue, because he got taken down at the very beginning of the fight. But Closer is still so far ahead. This sound barrier difference is quite likely to decide this opening engagement and keep the momentum going for Washington.
It's an instant up matrix there. As soon as they teleport right up close to them, the Dallas Fuel though still swinging away, but Jexa's gone again. The Blizzard as well. It's got so many players locked up here, and it's easy pickings once more for the Washington Justice. Ultimate's committed, sure, but they win the team fight out, and that's what they were looking for.
A bit of a disaster here for the Dallas Fuel. They've got to get back on their feet. If you look at the ultimates they have to be able to work with, they're still miles away from the sound barrier. At least they have a Blizzard. But that's where Closer can come in again. A speed boost disengage away from Doha will make that Blizzard very difficult to find value from.
The Dallas Fuel now just looking for a way back into this one. It's going to be 58% and counting for the Washington Justice, just steadily ticking up the progress. Ultimate's available. Both these teams. Wailers goes in from the side. Teleport right into the Earth Shadow. It forces out that sound barrier very early on. Blizzard comes through from Doha, but again, they just speed boost back away from it, kiting it. The ultimate doesn't really get too much now. The Dallas Fuel needs something a little bit extra. And Matrix dropped through, but the off angle being taken right from Assassin. He's locked up a bunch of them. Now Jexado eventually builds it up. Back.
What a wall!
Oh my goodness! Gets the Earth Shadow blocked off anyway. Denied in the end there by Doha. They've got the pick onto Assassin, and it might just be enough. Still beaming them all down. They need to deal with Decay. He's still alive in this fight, but eventually removed from it anyway. A couple of players left now for the Washington Justice. They are going to be rewarded with 96% in terms of the progress on the board. Dallas Fuel, what a mountain to climb to come back into this map.
Incredible wall there from Doha to be able to stop the value that was gained. Here it is from his point of view. Into the ice block.
Excellent.
Gorgeous play and avoids the self-destruct as well. But still, 96%. This is Justice's map to take. And remember, this pick was of the Dallas Fuel. They brought it to Lijiang. The pressure is on them to keep the advantage in the map pick.
Speed boosting forward, the Blizzard's going to get dropped as well. Jexa just trying to boot them away so they can't follow up on it, but Fearless was already down. The Immortality Field just could not save him for long enough. They flipped the point in the process as well. It's 98%. It's a Dallas Fuel. They need to touch this, but they can't really get close at all. Right into the field. The beam, the aura right now that Decay is outputting with the sound barrier on top. The Washington Justice, they've got so much health on top of that. The damage is surely done now. Every single ultimate being thrown out by them. And this is the Washington Justice when they look best. Always heating up towards the end of the playoffs. And the Dallas Fuel can be coming off the back of that map and wondering, oh my goodness, what has gone wrong? Why did we pick this team?
And there's still a lot left in this series, of course, but that's a phenomenal start for Washington. The momentum keeps on heating up, and you can see it on their faces as well. Confidence begins to brew. It's been a couple of weeks since the last time the Overwatch League teams were out here, but the Justice have been playing at a higher form, a higher peak recently than the Dallas Fuel. It's all right, though, focus and determination just plastered across the faces of those Dallas players as they realize this is not going to be an easy series.
Yeah, definitely going to have to pull out everything to try and stop this Washington Justice squad. More than capable, but they are lurking scary. Heading into map 2 now. We'll see what the Dallas Fuel have got up their sleeves to try and answer back. Of course, it's their map pick as well, and you know you're not going to want to miss it. We'll see you in just a few minutes.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
tank is Fearless.
Fearless, it is incredible to see a main tank take over the game like this. Redemption arc may well be complete, but I'm sure there's more in the future for this guy.
Fearless, he won't be denied. Shatter for 2, Izzyaki down.
Dallas trying to turn it around.
Oh, the beat got interrupted as well.
Oh, Shatter, it's gigantic. Fearless takes fate to his own hands. On Winston, Fearless just looks absolutely disgusting.
These mechanics.
The mechanics!
Oh my word!
What are we witnessing? The Dallas Fuel have got all the damage. That is just Winston difference right there. The Primal Rage to knock Gator off the edge. Oh my word.
Every team knows that they're going to try and play around Fearless. It doesn't matter. He's just able to get so much done.
We've already seen one of the most hype matchups occurring before our very eyes here. The Dallas Fuel are going to be really trying to concentrate as we head into map 2. But that hype matchup that I am talking about, of course, is the main tanks for both of these teams. Both Fearless and Mag really competing, going head-to-head here in this series.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that Fearless has been the best main tank of 2021, especially when you're able to get him on the Winston, on the Reinhardt. And the only player I can think of in the league that's able to go toe-to-toe with Fearless when it comes to both of those heroes is Mag from the Washington Justice. He was hyped coming into the preseason as potentially the best rookie main tank that we had in the league. Has he lived up to that? In some ways, absolutely, because his Reinhardt stats are the best we have available. He plays super aggressive, and he does seem like he matches up very well against the Dallas Fuel when it comes to the mirror matches. I mean, coming into this game as well, we had a quote from Sparkle as he did an interview with the Upcomer. He said, "I do agree that Mag has good mechanics, but he said there's something missing. Fearless has that fight. He's so experienced. I don't even think it's going to be a competition." Oh, brutal words from Sparkle there, bigging up his teammate, but the Justice have come out swinging on map 1, and Mag's Reinhardt able to neutralize Fearless in a number of situations and help them secure the win on the Dallas Fuel's pick. So again, we go for Dallas Fuel's pick, this time on Assault, and they're taking us to Volskaya. They have a crazy map win record on this.
They certainly do. They're going to be feeling comfortable and confident heading into this map. At least you'd hope so. But I think that first map has definitely set the expectations that this is a Washington Justice squad that, you know, there's maybe some slight regret possibly brewing from the Dallas Fuel in terms of their confident pick against them. Stylistically, I could see what they were going for. They play very similar compositions. They probably thought, well, you know, whatever they can do, we can do better. But this Justice, you never want to count them out. And at the end of the day, people are only going to remember how you did at the end of the year in the playoffs. They're not going to remember the regular season.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And it's been the same case for Washington last year as well. They went on a god run through the playoffs. Are they going to be able to replicate it this time around? Here we see the Justice playing the comp that they've been playing for the majority of, I mean, the play-ins, if we want to discuss that. The zombie comp is what it's become known as because people don't die when you play it in the mirror. But the Dallas Fuel here, opening things up with Fearless on Wrecking Ball. It's a comp that they've been trying to practice. They've talked about how they needed to put work into this style. Let's see how good they look.
Got to remember as well, there's the power drive comes in from Fearless, but needs to be careful. In case that hack comes through, and the Washington Justice, they don't lose anybody. In fact, they've got in all the way around, rotating, taking all that high ground control and positioning away from them. Fearless is just going to try and disrupt it again. Another good power drive. Yeah, that power drive was fantastic when it comes to the timing of it, but he's been deleted. And that must have been a neutral hack. Yeah, and they get the DMEC off of it. Wonderful, wonderful stuff there from Assassin. He's been kind of laughed at, honestly, at earlier points of the season in terms of his individual play on the Sombra, but definitely turning up here and now as the rest of the Dallas Fuel are just going to start toppling over.
No ability to punish Mag. Hacks coming out from Assassin are sublime, and the Dallas Fuel's composition crumbles. Mag had a Discord orb on him for the whole of that fight, and yet there was essentially no damage being put on the main tank of the Justice. Fearless did what he could in terms of disrupting them, but there just was never that coordination from the rest of their team being able to rotate away. That's a fantastic point A offense.
Yeah, now you're going to start to see the Justice rolling deep with his coalescence, Bebe with it in hand. Exactly why. It's been called many names, you know, the zombie comp, neo goats, new goats, whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, the Washington Justice They're not going to be losing too many players as they head into this next team fight. In fact, they've already got positioning in onto the objective. Now the ultimate's not waiting just yet, but Bebe eventually lets it rip. Doha comes out with the EMP, the mines, Mag is destroyed. Ultimate's traded there. The Dallas Fuel looking to put a stop to this before they really build up too much momentum. They're going to do just that. They do end that team fight before it really got a little bit messy.
Excellent EMP. It doesn't catch everybody in the world, but that's not what you need to do at the pro level. It's about finding one, maybe two specific targets and burning them down while they don't have disengage tools. And Mag was the choice there for Doha. He finds the main tank, isolates him, can't pop the primal. I mean, he didn't have the primal, but that's always, you've got to add, you know, 10% into your calculations. They thought it was a possibility. And now the Justice don't have that coalescence to be able to push back in with. All eyes on Assassin and Mag here as they aim to use their ultimates to make the difference, set a phenomenal time.
Assassin's going to look to try and set themselves up into a good position with this EMP, as you were saying. Always need to be careful of it, trying to put pressure onto Sparkle as well. There's the dive right up over the top. The bubble is going to be dropping down onto the point as well. Now the Primal Rage committed. That's Mag going to be looking to lead his team in here. You see the rally committed. Jex is going to be keeping his team nice and healthy with that one, but finally the EMP connects onto a lot of them. The Washington Justice also going to be overlaying up that sound barrier, looking to try and follow up on this one, but Dallas Fuel also trading out with their own ultimates. Fielder still alive, pumping in the damage from afar, but traded 1-for-1 in the end. Still though, no one dealing with Fielder in the backline. He's able to just pump out so much when he's not being pressured. That's going to be, again, the Dallas Fuel winning out that team fight. Very, very good conservative effort there when it comes to like trading the ultimates 1-for-1 with the Justice.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. And just keeping Fielder alive, too. Fielder, with his Transcendence, was able to mitigate that huge EMP that came out of Assassin. I believe it caught 4, maybe even 5 people there. But who didn't it catch? Fielder, the Zen, with the Trans, able to come in, save the rest of his team, and get 2 crucial picks that allow them to stabilize. Now the Justice can look for a speed boost coalescence engage, but Dallas again have that EMP to shut somebody down. Who do they choose to go on here? The backline, cancelling the call could be good, but then the follow-up is less reliable. So you're usually going to see it try to burn down that main tank.
Around the backline, look at that pressure. Fielder just backing off around the side. Falls back to that health pack though. He's going to be nice and healthy. Bebe actually committed the coalescence into this one, but they haven't really been rewarded with anything. Doha also used the EMP at some point. I'm not too sure who it really caught onto. Still, the Fielder putting out this much damage. He's already built up the Transcendence, and he's going to be leading his team in with that one. Another team fight win for them. The Dallas Fuel looking pretty comfortable in the situation that they're in right now. Good tracking on the ultimates as well.
Yeah, really good understanding of what the Justice have available to them. They've taken 3 minutes off the clock, and if we want to talk about Doha's EMP for a moment, it caught onto Mag and Fury, but at the tail end of Bebe's Coalescence. So there wasn't really any follow-up from the Fuel to convert it into kills, but it did neutralize the Justice attack. And because of how defender-favored Volskaya is, and how fast you get respawns in Assault in general, they were able to come out on top. Now things rotate around again, and we're looking at Assassin to try and make the difference. He got a good EMP last time. There's a little whip shot, stops Mag's engage, and Assassin, he catches both main tanks. Fearless cannot use Primal.
Yeah, both tanks locked up here. Can they burn any one of them down? Not quite, not enough time. Fearless ends up getting that Primal Rage off. Give me a neutral hack on him, but Closer already down and out, and a massive bio nade sent right into the back there. Fearless this chaos, finding value straight away, and the Washington Justice really does feel like the wind's been taken out of their sails.
I like the swaps that Dallas Fuel have made as well. They no longer have that squishy backline with the Zenyatta, and they've got Sparkle and Doha playing the mirror matchup, essentially, for the Washington Justice. Now Doha has another defensive EMP, and at this point the time is really ticking down. Less than 90 seconds here, and the Justice are going to require something enormous. The Primal is always good, but Mag so far has not been able to find value out of his engages, partly because of stuff like this. That hack is so crucial though. Doha goes down.
Yeah, that's magical. Doha was looking for an EMP, but it's going to be the 1-for-1. Sparkle's still alive, ends up shutting them down. Fielder has built up this nano boost in time. Mag just trying to disrupt them, battle them around. The Primal Rage has to just jump away from that self-destruct, and that's the Dallas Fuel buying even more time for the respawns to come back in. Justice now need to make a decision. Micro disengage out. They do have ultimates. They do want to come back into this.
They've got great ultimates as well. Speed boost, coalescence, they can EMP afterwards too. You saw the Dallas Fuel wanted to take that fight to them because they need to force something here. If you just let the Justice push, it's going to be devastating. And so they go forwards. How did that not catch Bebe? What
what a dodge! I don't understand what happened there, but EMP, I think it got zero value. The Washington Justice, it's going to be a free couple of ultimates for them, but with Mag already down, didn't even want to commit into this fight. Both of the tanks are missing now as well. Fury gets demeched, but 20 seconds left. Despite that EMP, I'm not too sure if it got cleansed up or what. But now they're engaging anyway. The Soundmire are committed at the end of this fight. Washington Justice know that this is the only opportunity they've got. 8 seconds remaining. They have to touch the point to try and take this into the overtime now, but they've really used almost everything at their disposal.
Fearless with a primal as well, a whip shot off the point, Assassin slept. Things are all going wrong here for the Washington Justice.
Taken out. And Sparkle uppercut straight back up to the high ground to safety. The rest of this team is waiting for the cooldowns to come back off. Punch is going to be connecting. That's Mag pushed away once more. Decay's out, but he's going right back in again. Sparkle with the picks, one after another. Finding so much work when he switches over to the Doomfist there. And the Justice, they just did not have the right answers. The Dallas Fuel, wonderful tracking when it comes to the ultimates, a firm understanding of exactly what the Washington Justice's win conditions were every single team fight.
Yeah, I love that. A mixture of proactivity and defensive play from Dallas Fuel. Mostly thinking about how Doha uses his ultimates. Sometimes defensively to shut down Mag, sometimes, like towards the end, going for the backline, trying to catch Bebe before that Coalescence was online. I believe that was a fade to dodge the EMP, though I didn't quite catch it on cam, but it still fell to pieces for Washington, despite the fact that Bebe outplayed the EMP and popped his Coalescence.
Yeah.
Mag was the first casualty, and you just cannot be making mistakes like that if you want to beat the Dallas Fuel on essentially their home territory at this point. Yeah, Volskaya isn't exactly set in Dallas. I don't know too many icy locations within Texas, but
it was earlier this year.
That's true. Maybe we're just going back in time to January. Let's take a look at this replay as well. This was the fat Bionade from earlier on.
Oh my God.
Play. And this is why Fielder plays so much Ana. His Ana, his Moira, absolutely top tier. And the Justice, this is an unconventional defense. You don't see many people playing rush comps.
Yeah, it is quite unconventional. As you can see there, you can participate in the trivia, live.overwatchleague.com. Start playing right now. Get your answers in as well.
What would you be more scared of? 50 owl-sized Carls or one Winston-sized Carl?
Probably the Winston-sized Carl.
I don't know. He's a fictional being anyway. I wouldn't be scared of any of them. I am fearless, like the main tank for the Dallas Fuel.
The Dallas Fuel actually get a read, a bit of scouting on the composition that Justice are running, and they're going to be swapping to try and match them when it comes to this rush.
The ego duel. Yeah. I love to see it.
See what they can do now, trying to get past this choke point. Of course, they have the sim TPs. They can straight away just chop and change the positioning on the fly for the entire team. Very, very powerful.
Look at those turrets as well, stopping Justice going for a hard engage into them because they'd be getting shot from behind. So just a bit of a defensive play there from Sparkle with the turrets. That slows down some of the aggression from the Justice. The longer the fight goes on, the closer range they are, the more Sparkle will start to outpace Decay.
They're taking the high ground off of them. Straight away, just pushing right into them now, and they've split up the team, but that's Mag from the side. The Fire Strike connects. Sparkle taken out. Decay, we'll see what he can do on a Cowboy from the high ground right now, firing off shot after shot, and now you can see him being pressured pretty heavily. Haven't been trying to shut him down, but that is going to be the Dallas Fuel with a lot of pickoffs going their way. Jexa still alive, trying to take revenge for that final round on Lijiang Tower. Definitely putting in the work for his team now, following up on all the damage that's being done.
This is not over yet, though. Fury has fallen. Assassin's still available here, and he has a Blizzard to potentially commit. Chooses not to. 2.5 minutes here on the clock. Obviously, more going to be added as well as the Dallas Fuel take a very thorough and well-executed attack, utilizing that Symmetra to take the high ground and push the Justice into a really uncomfortable position.
Now they only have a single tick to take. You can see Jexa in this fight. All the work he was doing there, I mean, that is honestly just quite phenomenal, honestly. They're all grouped up for him. And already this team fight might already be taking place. These compositions, they move fast. Blink, and you might miss it. A single tick is all that's needed here for the Dallas Fuel. The Justice, they have to play perfectly. They want any chance of holding on, holding them off of this singular map. Blizzard's going to be used. Fearless locked up, and that's the Immortality Field that was forced out a little bit earlier. An instant team fight win from them, but the Justice, look at the ultimates they committed. Amp Matrix and the Blizzard to do so.
It is a big investment. And when we think about Assault, it's all about rotating those ultimates, getting the ult cycle online, so that one team fight gains you extra ultimates for the next. If we're thinking about it from that perspective, there's a lot of pressure on Mag and Closer to be able to get good value out of their ults this time around. And it's just so difficult to defend a single tick on Volskaya B. Mag is going to be pressured to play the point so often, making him a key target for the Dallas Fuel to exploit.
TP gets destroyed here. Fearless with the shatter.
That's bold.
Tries to hop right round the corner, but Mag, yeah, far too aware. Goes for one of his own. Does not get anything from it, but that's the Amp Matrix committed. And now the support Outlaws from Dallas. Oh, they're looking good. Dora right into the back. It's a perfect blizzard. It catches all of them. The Immortality Field saves them for but a moment, but it's not nearly enough. The Dallas Fuel, so much damage being chewed up and ate up by that sim wall. Split right across the point. A last-ditch effort, but not enough once more. That's going to be the Dallas Fuel taking away Volskaya. A map they are more than comfortable on. A quick answer back to that early map 1 loss here, and we are even in the series.
Huge performance from the Dallas Fuel gets them back into this game. And it seemed like a bit of a breeze, honestly. Despite the fact that they lost point A very quickly, that B defense caused so many problems for the Washington Justice. And not just with the Fuel playing Reinhardt comps, but also getting to showcase that the ball is a very viable composition for them here. It's what they've been working on during the Countdown Cup, and we may see it more and more to push this series in new and unique directions.
And that's exactly what we might be seeing here. A flip, a change in momentum here as the Dallas Fuel even up the series. I'm going to see just how far it might go here. The first match of the 2021 playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. It's all heating up, and you know you don't want to miss it. Stay tuned.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by TeamSpeak, the official voice supplier of the Overwatch League.
The 2021 postseason is here, and yeah, head over to overwatchleague.com/2021-playoffs to learn more about the full playoffs and the grand finals schedule, along with the drops headed your way. You do not want to miss your chance to add to your Overwatch skin collection, that's for sure. But also, you know what? I feel like you would already know if you were watching the Overwatch League 2021 playoffs, unless you just tuned in which case, welcome. But
exactly. Hey, it's been 2 weeks since we had the play-ins, right? The anticipation, the tension, all building as we head towards this, but people are hyped, Bren.
Yeah, absolutely. Here is the Washington Justice's watch party here. The Shenandoah University Esports Arena. Here, a little watch party here. You can see the Justice fans going absolutely wild here, and why not? I mean, their team currently evened up against one of the favorites for the 2021 Overwatch League playoffs. We'll see if the Justice can keep that kind of form going and continuing in this series. It is going to be their next map pick coming up. And on the other side of things, tranquility, quiet, calm before the storm. The Justice players, you know, that's such a juxtaposition between the watch party and the players themselves, but they are cool, calm, and collected, trying to think about how they're going to get the edge coming into this next map.
Yeah, the celebrations can wait until they've made it out of the first round game against the Dallas Fuel. Neither of these teams want to drop into that lower bracket. Doing a lower bracket run is certainly viable. We've seen teams do it in the past. The Shock, for example, are notorious for it. But you never want to be in that position. You'd always like to start the playoffs with a good win under your belt and continue that momentum, especially for the Justice. Their momentum through play-ins, if it was able to carry on here, could certainly go the distance. And we're going to be seeing their map pick. Just a reminder as well, it is loser's pick. So after the Dallas Fuel's dominance on Volskaya, we see yet another incredible matchup for Reinhardt battles. Yep. King's Row, you couldn't get more quintessential than that.
Here's our map leaderboard presented by Xfinity. Justice on the board here versus the Shock in 2020. This must have been when they were heating up, I imagine, at the end. I think I remember this match, actually. The Justice were really just blitzering through it with Decay on the Zarya, if I can remember correctly, all the way back then.
Yeah, this was, in fact, the North American quarterfinals of the 2020 playoffs.
And Shock almost didn't make it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a 2-3. It went to 5 maps. The Justice pushed the eventual champions to the very, very limits. And that's why so many people believe in them this time around.
Absolutely.
Because, okay, it wasn't the greatest regular season. They are a bit of a super team. The player quality is through the roof on this Justice squad. But the actual results have been a mixed bag. At the end of the day, though, it only matters how you do in the playoffs. That's where the championship resides. It doesn't reside in your regular season performance. So as long as they can pull it out here and keep it going for the next matches ahead of them, they're all good, baby.
Exactly. You think people can remember the regular season of the London Spitfire back in 2018? No. They remember when they came alive at the end in the playoffs. It's all about how you finish at the end of the day. And here in the 2021 Overwatch League playoffs, Washington Justice looking to potentially get an early upset here against the Dallas Fuel. It is their map pick. Fuel going to be starting on the attacking side of things, and they are going to be running Hanbin on the Zarya.
Yeah, we've got a double bubble set up here, but this time Jexit actually on Lucio. Wow! Assassin got absolutely deleted. Not even had the opportunity to use Ice Block for whatever reason.
Still could be back into this one, though, here. Immortality Field forced out Decay very, very low, and he's going to be burst down in the end. That's Doha taking these slide-off angles, just pumping in the damage with the arrows. Still trying to get that shield down as well, but the Washington Justice forced to back off and away. I think that may have been a set play right at the beginning as well, with Fielder with a Bionade up into the sky, and they timed it with Sparkle's initiation. Still, might not matter at the end of the day, with Fielder going down from that stray icicle. That's one way to get back into it. The Justice trying to hold on, another Immortality Field, and now the Amp Matrix dropped down. Bebe does get it off. He's going to be falling in at the end of it as well. Decay back onto the Tracer, gets taken out again from the arrow, and Fearless offloading this Primal Rage, just needs to try and survive. To deal with Fury into the backline here. It is very even between both of these teams. There's an opportunity for the Washington Justice, if they bide their time, to come back into this one.
That's exactly what they're aiming for. Fearless trying to shut it down. Great play by Fielder, utilizing the Nano Boost and then hitting that Bionade onto Mag as he's swinging. No shield available. Dallas lock it up. Phenomenal play from Dallas in that A execute. Just being able to get huge value from their Ana. It's not a comp that we see very much. Running the double bubble, but also with Jexit on Lucio and having that off-angle Hangzhou to be able to deliver so much damage behind the Rhine shield.
It's so interesting, isn't it, with this comp? I mean, it really feels like they're just overlapping a bunch of the really big cooldowns, the bubble, the bionades, maybe a boop sparkle with the engages as well, to try and burst down a couple of the targets. They also
have tons of ultimate cycling. Oh, has he really not been scouted?
Yeah, Fearless just gets away with it, really. Jumps right onto them. Comboed up. Sparkle. Meteor Strike to try and survive as well. Did fall very, very low, but right into the corner. Decay. He's gone, missing from the fight. Fearless as well just follows up with a quick little 1-2 as Bebe will go down. Justice looking for a way back into this one here. Fearless just jumping straight on top of Assassin. Taken out again. Too much burst damage to try and survive through. And again, just leaping right into the fray. Following up on all the work that's being put out right now.
His Winston mechanics are sublime to watch. The lamp only just being able to save Decay there, but this payload has not stopped moving ever since checkpoint A. Their spawn camping, they just grabbed them in spawn!
You've got to be kidding me, man! I mean, this is just disrespect. Holding them right back, Fury tries to touch, but that's going to be the cap. I mean, why not? It works at the end of the day. The Dallas Fuel, by the way, still investing ultimates into this one. The Nano Boost was popped out, as well as that, the sound barrier. Not too much more to be gained from it. They were really trying to snowball this one further forward. But they can reset a little bit, take a breather.
Doha was just shooting arrows on the payload to keep himself entertained.
Yeah.
There was no other purpose for him. He was just sat there pushing the payload, just firing off a couple of shots, testing out his archery skills. But now the real battle begins again. 4 minutes over that.
Okay. Punch-in, mag away there, bit of anti-synergy, but a big Bionode anyway, catches them. Fielder onto 2, a huge setup for them, but eventually Fearless bursts it down regardless. Still, the Dallas Fuel with enough pickoffs that they are going to keep this card moving forwards, even with Fearless missing out of the fight. Decay just trying to take as many players down as humanly possible here, but it's going to be now 4 players on the Dallas Fuel trying to hold off the Justice as they're coming out of the spawn. Definitely doable with the ultimates they've got.
Another Bionade as well.
Can they touch?
Timed with the punch. Closer, the last player really able to get anything done. Sparkle, solo shattered at spawn.
They're just trying to take care of him. Mag already just following up. Look at the damage that he's doing here, just to try and push them away. But the Dallas Fuel probably going to be quite happy with this one. Fielder jumping off the side of it. Jex just trying to also pay for his life onto the cart so he can respawn with the rest of his team. Things getting very, very messy there for the Justice, but they eventually scrape it out.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the synergies for Dallas Fuel's comp as well. They have that high tempo they can play at because of the Lucio. That's why they're playing so aggressive. But also they've got punches, or they did when they were playing the Doomfist, punch into Bionade. They've got the grab that they could combo with the Hangzhou ultimate as well. So many ways to make it work, and there's still the pick potential coming out from Doha.
Yep, and he's still just putting in the work. Another Dragon Strike splits them up all the way across. An ice block will keep Assassin alive for about a moment, but finally out of it, freed away. But right back into the bottom of King's Row. See you later. And that's a grab. You're not going anywhere. Hanbin doesn't even get rewarded with the kills because they've already capped it up. 3 minutes, 11 seconds.
Seems a little bit like hubris taking Dallas Fuel to King's Row. Oh my word.
Yeah.
What do you do with this team? Brennan, they're looking like their main melee selves. There were so many questions, Brennan. We really do have to address this. There were so many questions about the Dallas Fuel's performance in the Countdown Cup.
Yeah.
Their fans are screaming during those performances. We're not trying, we're not trying. The team has said that we're taking it easy, and that's what they had said. Rush relaxed some of their scrim schedules. Sparkle in interviews said that their practice was more focused on what they were bad at, rather than emphasizing their strengths and trying to win the games. He said, quote, "We spent the majority of time practicing what we weren't good at. We were worried the meta wouldn't give us something good, so we wanted to practice that." And it did lead to a drop in performance for the Countdown Cup. And we've seen it in the past. 2018, New York Excelsior. There's this myth around them, or a legend perhaps, around them sandbagging and then not being able to turn up when it came to the actual playoffs themselves. It's always worrying when you rely on the players to just flip a switch to be good again. But it does seem like it's worked, at least for the moment for Dallas. They are looking fierce.
Yeah, they seem to have a complete mastery over rotating the ults, a firm understanding as well of their general game plan coming into it and what the Washington Justice might be trying to do with the composition that they have. It's very impressive so far. I mean, they're looking
breadth of comps as well, because they're starting out. I mean, they're starting out here playing the ball and the Zen comps as well. Not something you think about and associate with the Fuel in this 2021 season. And Justice are making an adaptation here, going for the May to try and break it. This does put a bit of pressure on Fearless.
Sparkle pushed away for a moment. Fearless. Power Drive isn't going to get too much there, actually. Shielded by Mag and that. Oh, that Maywall. That is a potent one. Frozen up, locked up. Way too many stuns to deal with. Fearless just pinned against the pillar. Had nowhere to go there. And now it's the Washington Justice with a lot of control over the map. Can start to play over this objective, start to potentially tick it over. But the Dallas Fuel's comp is very good at just tiptoeing on and off, making sure that they can't get too much done. Sparkle just trying to get the damage done onto this support line. Staying nice and healthy for the time being. I think that was the immortality thrown out as well, and that's going to give them a bit of durability. They already take out Fielder and Jexa. No more backline for the Dallas Fuel. Not going to have those heals or the damage to try and break through this one.
And you can see there that Dallas did not sync up any kind of extra pressure with Sparkle. If he's just a lone tracer in the back, that's a gargantuan effort to try and take down this backline that has the healing and the CC to be able to deal with him. So now Sparkle makes the move over to the Doomfist, playing the Hack Fist comp, something that the Element Mystic core of this roster has been renowned for so long. It leans hard into the strengths of Sparkle and Doha. And it's all on Doha for this first team fight. If they could stop the Justice here at the Archway, it would be huge. You've got to imagine that Bebe with his Amp Matrix is going to try and stop this happening.
Sparkle, though, might get a very cheeky engagement. Come around the corner. Could try and get the seismic slam from the back as well. They need to keep an eye on this one. In fact, Justice are given a lot of free space to push this one. They're going to try and sync something up now, potentially with the EMP. Spotted though. Sparkle has to use his punch just to try and push them away from him. They know he's there now, still just waiting for the right timing on all of this one.
And now, oh, there's the EMP.
The timing though, it's slightly off. Sparkle just can't engage with them. Regardless of all of that though, Decay already down and out, but still. Would prefer for him to be into this fight. The punch doesn't quite collect the kill down to Assassin. What a bomb from Fury. Well placed in the end. Fielder will fall, but the Dallas Fuel with bodies to spare. Earth Shatter there from Mag. We'll be finding too many targets. In fact, they all just fly away at a moment's notice, dodging right out of the way of it. It is going to be a bit of a slow siege from the Justice as they are just getting map control and getting a bit of progress here in the streets, but time also being kind of shaved off here as Dallas Fuel are looking to now potentially re-engage.
Look at Hanbit, he's just flying onto the payload, off the payload. Same with Fearless there, ping-ponging their bodies
There's a kill.
on and off the objective to keep it stalled out. And despite all of this CC for the Justice, they're getting stalled out, the time is ticking away. And you can't really do much with your Batiste down. They're going to make a rotate here, but the longer the fight goes, the bigger they're going to find that a problem.
Rallies used by Jexa. Has to push away though. Decay just channeling up that Deadeye. Pushes them all away. Doesn't get a kill with it. Flashbang though. That's good. Disrupts the power drive coming through, but not enough save for Sparkle. Comes right around the side, and that's Decay blown up straight away. Immortality Field is going to be committed, but already the Justice are being pushed right out of the vision of it. Big power drive straight into them with the Meteor Strike. Sparkle is just popping off.
I'm just getting started.
Oh my word.
Imagine trying to fight a Doom of the caliber of Sparkle when you're not allowed to use your abilities. How do you do it? How can you do it?
And they buffed Doomfist.
Yeah.
They buffed Doomfist with his patch, Josh.
Exactly. When he uses his ultimate, he gets all of his cooldowns back. It allows Sparkle to play even more aggressively when he has his ult online. And the combination there of Doha and Sparkle just mops up the Washington Justice. These fights are long and scrappy, but the longer they last, the better it is for the Fuel. They just need to take time away. With a time bank of 3 minutes 11, it almost seems impossible for the Justice to match that at this point, even if they rolled from here on out. They need to catch players. They need to chain CC.
Power drive into the mines. It forces out the Immortality Field, but Sparkle does go down.
It's a great start.
Yeah, it is fantastic for them. Swinging away, haven't been taken out. Self-destruct pushes them into these corners. The Dallas Fuel, they want to commit even more. The Transcendence is used to try and keep them all alive and try and withstand the damage coming through this Amp Matrix. Fire Strike from Mag doesn't get too much there. Tried to set it something up through the Amp Matrix, but now it's steadily moving forwards. Just moments away from trying to capture this one on checkpoint B, but look at the Dallas Fuel, ready and waiting. The Earth Shatter, it will connect onto the one, but a quick dodge there from Doha as he just finds his way back away from it. Still, Sparkle falls again early on, but with closer down and out, it's going to be a hard fight.
Get back into the lamp, Decay. He manages it, and that Deadeye finds one. With the Peacemaker, takes down a second as well. And now that he is coming online, the rest of the Justice can start to forge a path forwards. Oh, hello. Just leave it for the rest of your team to be able to take down Fielder there. It's all right. You don't have to carry everything on your own. and they have 2.5 minutes. This time bank will not be matched, not even close. But you don't need to annihilate your way through King's Row at the same pace. You just have to make sure you complete it.
Yeah, that's the next objective for them. Blizzard online. It's going to be difficult, though, to try and get value out of the Blizzard. Sparkle is finding it tough to get these engagements. You can see the amount of crowd control. Stuns. Ooh, right underneath. Is Fearless even going to be able to make his way back up here? He's searching for a way back in, just trying to roll around into the underside belly of King's Row. Eventually gets back to his team, but he was out of it for so long that Hanbin was taken out. EMP was committed into the power drive. Is the damage there, or it is going to be 2 kills, but Fearless goes down anyway. The Justice committing the ultimates, weathering this storm that's coming their way. Gonna start to slowly move the objective, the card, a little bit further forwards. They just want to get it all the way to the end.
Interesting decision from Dallas, not choosing to invest their double support ultimate into the fight where they had EMP. Yes, Decay and Assassin fell, and the Dallas Fuel were able to stabilize for a moment. Now they have even more ults. That's a great headshot from Decay, and the engage comes through. A bomb is a phenomenal one. Decay could not get around the corner.
Yeah, and Mag's shield just obliterated in the process. Gonna be pinning, charging all the way out, trying to escape a lot of the threats that was coming his direction, but it's gonna be the teamfight win here for the Dallas Fuel, any way you look at it. A minute now and 15 seconds for the Justice. They do have ultimates online. It's not over just yet. So do the Dallas Fuel, and they're looking to try and get a deep engagement right off the bat, not even letting them breathe for a moment. The rally's going to be popped. On top of that, the Transcendence to keep them all alive. It's going to be the Deadeye, channeled up, does not get the pick he was looking for. Decay hoping to try and at least find one to open things up for his team, but the Dallas Fuel just immediately back away, a disengage, as well as they realize they're not going to be winning that prolonged out team fight.
The Fuel invested double support ultimate into that. There's 40 seconds left and they have an EMP. But what is the follow-up going to be, and where is Hanbin?
He's in the middle of nowhere.
They could coordinate something off the EMP here. It's all on Doha. The Justice don't really have a comp that can speed boost or play proactively. Assassin with a great dodge. He can now use his ultimate.
Yeah, the Blizzard is going to get dropped down because he didn't get caught by that EMP.
And that makes a difference.
Oh my goodness. It is a difference maker indeed. With the Amp Matrix coming through, Mag, he picks up 2. And now, steadily pushing it forwards. They desperately don't want it to get to the overtime. They need to capture with a little bit on the board, surely. But the pressure, it's too much. The spawners of the Dallas Fuel are coming through, and they finally take him out.
Dallas Fuel just have to hold on for another 3 seconds. It's impossible for the Justice to be able to cap this one, but in overtime they would still have a chance, a hope. Decay with a kill onto Sparkle takes down the star player of the Fuel. Both of their tanks are weak as well, but Hanbin, he has the ult to be able to remake.
We've seen magic before from him, but already it's so hard. The Dallas Fuel, anyone they kill is just going to be spawning back into the fight, and with Mag and Assassin falling, it's looking inevitable. The overtime is definitely ticking down now as it's starting to get to the tail end of it. Decay does take out Fielder, but pushed away, does not have the cooldowns to try and fight for much longer, and they are pushed off. Too late there. The Dallas Fuel are going to be taking away King's Row, and now they've gained a lead in this series.
Sparkle looks hyped, and so he should be. The team all hydrates. They're even coordinated in terms of that, Brent. And Sparkle has been playing like a beast. I love the comps that the Fuel have come out with here as well. You can just tell that they've expanded their repertoire. Sure, they're leaning into the Hackfist comps that have been the backbone of their team since, I don't know, 2017, 2018.
Yeah, eons.
But at the same time, the integration of the Zenyatta a lot more, the integration of Fearless playing ball has caused enough curveballs that the Justice are struggling to come up with answers. They went for a very defensive, tanky composition there with the flashbang and the freeze coming out from the Mei, and then also a Lucio-less Reinhardt comp, but it didn't work. King's Row goes the way of the Fuel, and they go 2-1 up in this game. These map picks are not particularly working out for the Justice.
Yeah, we're going to need to see a little bit more, I think, from the Justice. A bit of adaptation, perhaps, to what the Fuel are chucking at them, because momentum, it's definitely on the side of the Dallas Fuel. They are 1 map away from moving further forward into the tournament and potentially knocking the Washington Justice into the lower bracket of our 2021 playoffs. You know, you don't want to miss it, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll catch you in just a few.
메이 나이스
망치 없다 망치 없다 트레 안 보여. 씨발 트레 오는 거 리셔컨 트레 나이스 얘만 맞아.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
If you're in an accident, there's so much to deal with. Talking to the mechanic, handling all the bills, dealing with those pesky insurance companies. All your time gone. And now you're playing Overwatch with default skins during the Overwatch League playoffs. At the law offices of Shimada, Lindholm, Song, Ziegler and Associates, we fight to make sure that you get the Overwatch League perks that you deserve. Connect your Battle.net account with your YouTube account while watching the Overwatch League playoffs, and a bar-certified attorney will be standing by to make sure that you get compensation. The insurance companies don't want you to know that you're entitled to 3 Overwatch League skins for every 3 hours of Overwatch League playoffs you watch, as well as League tokens. That's 9 new skins, plus your League tokens, all for watching your favorite Overwatch League teams battle through the playoffs. So don't waste another minute. Get your Overwatch League perks by connecting your account today, or by dialing 333-3333 and get your justice. Or Outlaws, or Spark, that you deserve. Welcome back from the break, everybody. Would you trust me if I was a lawyer?
No, absolutely not.
You wouldn't?
Absolutely in no way would I. If you rang me up offering me Overwatch League 3-for-3 skins, I'd put the phone down. And you know what? And that would be a problem for me, because I'd miss out on a great deal watching the Overwatch League playoffs.
Yeah, you would.
But I just simply wouldn't trust a word you were saying.
I thought I looked quite trusting, you know.
Trusting, perhaps, but not trustworthy.
True.
Two very different things.
All right, well, this match is definitely living up to these expectations early on here. And the Dallas Fuel are really kind of showcasing, I think, the practice that they've been doing. That they've been saying in the interviews how they've been taking it easy, but definitely practicing things that they've been weak at. And so far, they've been pulling out so many different compositions. It has been, honestly, pretty impressive, I think, from the Dallas Fuel to be able to kind of just effortlessly switch around just 1 or 2 key pieces of their composition to find value. But here we're heading into Havana, and this is going to be, again, the Justice's map pick. It is loser's pick. They need this map if they want to continue this series.
I'm intrigued to see what compositions we get here on Havana. We've seen teams play Rush on defense most of the time. We've also seen teams play Orisa comps. Orisa Diva, Orisa Sigma is now available, where it wasn't in the Countdown Cup due to the hero pools as well. We could see a huge range of comps. I could even see ball comps being played here too. So this meta is really wide open, and I'm so intrigued to see what these teams have in store for us. Looks like the Justice are going to start out here with a good old-fashioned May Rush defense, which I'm sure the Dallas Fuel will be perfectly happy to mirror too, and we'll get to see a real slobber knocker for what could potentially be our final map of this series.
It could. It certainly could. Definitely going into the comfort territory. And you got to wonder, the Washington Justice, are we going to see anything new? Is this all they've got up their sleeves to try and tackle against the Dallas Fuel here? It certainly worked in the initial map. Don't get me wrong. When it comes to the Rush and those kind of matchups, they were more than comfortable. And they're going to try and go for the forward hold right at the gates. The Dallas Fuel obviously get a quick read on this one. They're going to be able to spot exactly what they're doing. Fielder hiding around the corner. That's really heads up there from Fury, but look at that sleep. Fury is demeched straight away. He ate up the Bionade, but he was so susceptible to all that damage coming his way anyway.
Yeah, that is a great play, because even though the Dallas Fuel are losing this team fight, really, they're set up in a great position for the next one. Okay, there's going to be 30 seconds off the clock right now, but coming into the next fight, Fury does not have a mech, and so you're essentially 6v5 as you come back out into spawn. I gotta say, I was expecting us to see a mirror here. I thought Fearless would swap over to the right, but instead they're just trying to run double bubble comps on Havana of all places.
It's quite interesting. Another Bionade not going to be quite connecting there, and this team fight has gone the way of Washington Justice. Fury back in the mech as well. That one advantage they had,
great,
completely gone. Assassin, fantastic on the May, just chasing down the targets with the icicles.
Yeah, great aim. He's already up to 80% of his Blizzard. And like I said, this comp is very unconventional when it comes to Havana. You do not see many people running Winston. There's a dive into the back line. That bubble gets burnt down very quickly, but Fearless doesn't take too much damage.
A lot of credit here to the Washington Justice closer with these speed boosts. Again, just kind of always using it to try and disengage away from the Dallas Fuel when they engage onto them. They swap the positioning all the way around. Doha is looking for an angle, but again, look at it, just being marked the entire time. Now the Blizzard, Dragon Strike through the back, all the way.
It's ambitious.
Sparkle's down already, yeah, nothing to follow up this Dragon Strike. This composition is not working for the Dallas Fuel. They've invested ultimate. Are we going to see some changes?
We need to see changes from the Fuel here. Fearless moves over to Rein. So running a Rein Zarya comp, you want to stick on the Zarya because Hanbin already has 67%. But Sparkle's going to stay on the Doom as well. It's been phenomenal so far this series, but Havana, not a great Doom map, honestly. Much better for getting value out of, I don't know, the Hangzhou, for example. What a stun in midair. Great work by Decay, but they can't quite get the shutdown on the Doom.
Yeah, fantastic spatial awareness. Fearless, though, just holding the shield. We'll start to try and swing away here. It's going to be the 1-for-1. The Immortality field still up, though. The Justice going to be alive and kicking. Now it's going to be that grab, just offloaded off to the side, connects onto a bunch of targets, but Closer just uses that sound barrier. Slightly better one at that. Mag, the Earth Shatter, only connected onto the one. Sparkle showing off the techers as well, but the last shot didn't get the kill onto the target he was looking for because the ice block was in the way. Regardless of all of that, though, it matters not. Hanbin is going to be able to clean up with the high energy, and it is going to be the team fight win. Luckily for the Dallas Fuel as well, they were pushing the cart the entire time. Otherwise, we may have been looking at a really shaky scenario.
Yeah, most of the time when you play Rush on defense, you can force out 3 team fights. Obviously, there isn't much time on the clock, but this Bionade, look at that. 3 players, Closer and both tanks caught by Fielder, who was just recovering from an Earth Shatter. Are they even going to be able to touch the objective? Yeah, just about. Assassin is on there. He's at 90% of his ult.
Contested up, though. They're all so weak. Self-destruct right over the top. A lot of damage being done to them. That's another Earth Shatter, but only Jexa down on the ground. But that might be all they need. Still, Sparkle needs to try and convert this and turn it around. He's only got the one. Frozen up. Can't go anywhere. The Dallas Fuel struggling to try and edge this team fight out, but maybe with Fielder, maybe with the grab, maybe with the Bionade, they do it. Just in time. Wrangling it back into control, but for a few crucial seconds, the Justice were looking like they were about to hold them.
Oh, that's tragedy from the Justice, though. They let point A slip through their fingers. It's an amazing clutch from the Fuel, but the Justice had the advantage going towards the end there, and you've got to feel for Assassin. He's doing so much in these team fights, definitely carrying the higher amount of the load, I would say, whereas usually it's Decay, especially towards these playoffs. But he's now on the Reaper. Not as good for being able to shut down the Doom, but it does offer him a lot of close range damage.
Sparkle so close to getting bursted down. Meteor strike into the back, it's dodged. This Bebe is just going to be jumping right up to the high ground. The ultimate's committed here. Blizzard, will it be able to get a kill onto Mag? It will indeed. Hanbin's still alive. 92 charge, fully powered up, is just going to be pumping out so much damage off the top of this one. The Justice looking a bit disjointed right now as well after they've lost those players, looking to just disengage and potentially come back in when it favors them a little bit more. But when is that going to be? With the Dallas Fuel right up close to the choke point here.
Fielder very close to this nano as well.
Straight in.
Locked off. That ice wall, really important from Assassin. Stops the aggression coming out from the Fuel. Jexa used his ultimate. I'm waiting for Fielders. If he finds a good opportunity to use this nano onto Hanbin or onto Fearless, it could be game over for the Justice.
I mean, Hanbin just hasn't been punished. He's still holding onto his personal bubble, and now he's just taking the off angles. Rolling all the way over them, that's Fearless with the Earth Shatter from the back. It's a good soundbite from Closer to try and keep their team back into it, and they are going to return the fire. They take him out, but Hanbin's still alive, and another grab built up. The man is just popping off. Eventually taken down, but Sparkle is fully charged up, and nobody's going to be able to withstand this beam. They've already dealt with Hanbin, but not with Sparkle.
Amazing level of tempo from Dallas Fuel. They take early fights, force out crucial abilities, like, for example, the lamp, the immortality field from Bebe. He had to use it to keep Mag alive after Fearless pinned him towards the back, and that meant it wasn't available for the grab that came out from Hanbin. We're going to see some adjustments, though, from the Fuel's composition. Hanbin moving over to Diva, Fielder matching the Batiste. So, essentially a mirror match on both sides here, as we see the Justice trying to take this space. Mag taking a ton of damage as they attempt to contest the objective.
It's a cheeky teleport, honestly, up to the high ground, but a Symbol going to be splitting right across the cart. Doha, he's got a Blizzard in hand. Does he want to offload this one? Yes, he does. Ultimate's used, though. Self-destruct over the top does not catch anyone, but the Blizzard certainly is. That's Mag and Assassin taken out. Now it should just be a classic cleanup for the Dallas Fuel, swinging away. Way too much healing. Ocean Justice not going to be finding any picks.
It's a gorgeous Blizzard coming out from Doha. He sees the self-destruct coming towards him from Fury, and he realizes that the Justice are going to try and take space. And then he throws out the Blizzard, and all of that space is denied. The Justice still walk into it, and they pay with their lives. Now we see the Dallas Fuel going for a spawn camp again. Memories of King's Row, and the Justice hit with these flashbacks of all the pain. Look at that snipe, as well as Decay hits the ground.
What? Already they just swap the perspectives around. The Sim teleport's just really not coming in handy for them, and the Dallas Fuel again winning out the team fight.
Ripping them to pieces.
Set up all of the back at Doha with that Icicle as well onto Decay. And they're just steadily making it all the way forwards. I mean, it was looking so rough on checkpoint A. The Justice so close to almost just getting that full hold as well, but now the Dallas Fuel would have knocking on the spawn doors all the way at the tail end.
Yeah, I mean, they are getting walled in. The Justice can't come out the door, and even if they try and wrap around to the other side, there's a teleporter over there as well. That is a masterclass from the Fuel, and they finish with a minute on the clock as well. This is unbelievable levels of performance from Dallas. They're astounding me. Brent, I really thought we might see them a little shaky to start off the playoffs. I thought the desk all going for Dallas, and the fan vote as well.
Yeah.
Was discrediting Justice's chances a little bit. And then you see the match, and it looks like the Countdown Cup really was just a nothing. A blip in the radar.
A bit of a vacation.
Yeah, just a little vacation.
A bit of sandbagging potentially.
Yeah.
It is incredible to see the improvements that Dallas have made on a variety of different compositions. And for the Justice, they're probably sitting here thinking, okay, we prepped for the Dallas Fuel. We know they like to play similar comps to us, but you're really starting to see, I think, the rigid nature of the Justice's comps kind of biting them here a little bit, because it's a Dallas Fuel just always making the right switch ups at the right times, at the right areas of the map to just win out the team fights. They're getting these edges in these team fights over and over again.
Yeah, very intelligent compositional swaps. The other thing that I've noticed from the Justice is that we haven't really been talking about Decay very much. He's had some impact. Let's take a look at this as well. Frozen out of his shatter there, Mag. Unable to get anything done. That was a bit of desperation. I mean, the team fight was not going well. But we haven't really been talking that much about Decay. He has had impact, especially in map 1 when he was playing Sim. But outside of that, the comps that both of these teams have been playing haven't really allowed Decay to play some of his best roles, some of the roles where he can hard carry. Instead, he's just a piece of the puzzle. Another brick in the wall, and that wall is getting torn down by the Dallas Fuel.
So Dallas Fuel giving them a taste of their own medicine with the spawn door camp. They're going to try and put the pressure now onto Hanbin. Just about flies away with about half his health remaining. Immortality Field is burnt down straight away. That's Decay with good focus fire, but needs to try and end out this fight. They found it. Sparkle goes down. It's good for them. Dallas Fuel not going to be able to get too many picks off the back of that one. As soon as you lose Sparkle, it's a lot of your damage is going to be missing. That is good from the Justice. A quick team fight win so they don't get choked up right at the spawn doors is exactly what they needed.
And now the Justice need to keep this momentum going. I'd like to see them take some forward positioning, and they do. Instead of going around there with the Lucio speed boost, they take the teleport to the high ground. So not a cooldown that's going to be available for Decay, but it does make them much more variable in terms of where they can position. They scout it out, Dallas Fuel taking the high ground. This is very standard for the Rush v Rush. You wrap up to the high ground, you drop, you stop the objective moving.
Yeah, Simwall though dropped here. The Justice committing the ultimate into this, and they're going to need to. Dallas Fuel have a bit of an advantage here. Filled it with the Amp Matrix. They needed something to try and match it, to try and mitigate it. Just swinging away. Mag is worried about that teleport in case somebody comes out behind him. Justice so far, it's a disengage from Dallas, so they're going to be able to get this free push. One last team fight though, just before this objective potentially now for them. You see the symbol just dropped again. Sparkle just going to be trying to play around that to eat up a bit of the damage coming their way. What a shatter. I believe it's only Sparkle that went down, and there won't be a follow-up with the damage. Instead, the Blizzard is going to be doing a lot of work still. A good sound barrier. The timing on that from Jexa was almost perfect. It did keep him alive for about a moment, but with the damage already done, it's the Justice just cleaving through them now. Still, the fight continues, and it is starting to get very scrappy.
This is looking good, though, for Justice. They've kept this momentum rolling the entire time. They've just got to stop the clutch coming through from the Dallas Fuel. They're all moving in to try and buy time, and Sparkle is back on the Doom. That bomb does not find much, and the Fuel is still in this fight despite everything.
Yeah, they've lost so many players, but now the Amp Matrix is back online. What a seismic slam! Sparkle from around the side. Decay pushed all the way out of his team's line of sight, and they take him out straight away. The punch doesn't connect, but he's still doing good work, just switching over to the pocket picks. This guy, empowered. And Josh, I'm telling you right now, they buff Doomfist, they buff Genji. Someone on the Overwatch dev team is a fan of Sparkle.
Yeah, it certainly seems like it, doesn't it? Either that or he's paid them off. Maybe the dev team is in Sparkle's pocket. We must investigate later on. But he is having an insane performance in this match. Every time he's swapped to Doom, he's able to get value. This team comp doesn't even have Zarya bubbles for him to be able to work with, and yet he's still getting max value out of this. Another huge engage as he dives in from the top ropes.
Yeah, and it's again, the Maywall from Doha is so good. It just completely splits them up right round the side. They've got nothing to deal with this. And yeah, Sparkle used all of his cooldowns to engage, but they're right back again. The meteor airstrike is going to be resetting them, but the fight's not over yet. The Justice, they're trying to use everything at their disposal to win this one out. Decay, not going to be long for this world. He does get taken out. Enough damage was done. The Jexa is going to get the cleanup. 37 seconds left here, and the Justice, oh, they're scraping for anything.
Well, thankfully for them, they do have Assassin, still with a large ultimate to be able to work with. But they are going to have to navigate the pressure coming out from the defensive Amp Matrix. Fielder's going to be able to do a ton of damage, and it looks like that's going to be also comboed with Sparkle. A Seismic Slam and an Uppercut will leave them completely defenseless, and that is why that pressure is so important there. Sparkle scouted and taken down early by Fury.
Fantastic work by Fury. Takes him out. Now the self-destruct over the top. Can he make it into another one? It does force out the Immortality Field, and it's enough damage done. Assassin still following up on all of it. The Icicles finding their mark. And that is an overtime push, but it is going to be a team fight win for them. They are still in this series for now.
So crucial as well that they managed to do that without investing too many ultimates. They're going to be able to capture point A, and they still have this momentum, Washington. The closer has his sound barrier, Assassin as well with an ultimate that is so good, especially on checkpoint B, where the areas get a little more claustrophobic. If they can pin Dallas Fuel up against a corner somewhere, their backs to a wall, Assassin's going to be able to win this team fight on his own with the ultimate.
We'll see what they're capable of. 2 minutes. A bit of time on the board. Assassin just hiding. Wait.
The three-pointer.
Has the May wall available. He's just waiting, trying to bait somebody down. If they got the freeze off onto Hanbin, it could have been a fantastic opening. No threat of the Blizzard being ate up at the end of the day, but it is a struggle for them. Another engage comes off onto the side there, and that's Bebe taken out. I think that was Sparkle doing obviously the brunt of the damage. The Blizzard is good though. Locks up a lot of the Dallas Fuel here, and they've already gotten enough pickoffs off of it. They can just clean up the rest of them. The Washington Justice should be able to sail this card a little bit deeper now into checkpoint B.
Excellent work from Assassin, so aware of where everybody is and the threats. It feels like the Justice have made the right adaptation here, which is to try and scout Sparkle early. If you can predict where he's going to engage from, you can adapt your positioning to try and mitigate him. If you can shield as the Seismic Slam comes in, or try and micro-disengage so that he doesn't get such a big uppercut, all of these things really help to stop the impact that Sparkle is having on this Doom. They're going to see them coming out from the bottom left. Fantastic Maywall. That isolates Fielder.
Assassin's so good with it. That's Sparkle taken out, though, regardless of it again. Okay, we'll teleport deep into the back line. Going to be punished for it. That's going to be the Justice. With enough picks that they are going to be able to convert this no matter what you think. This is going to be their capture onto checkpoint B. And all that momentum. The rotation of ultimates is really, really good here from the Justice. They're just being able to really kind of make their way through it. Yes, but doing it economically is also very important.
Yeah, Assassin up to 60% of his the next ultimate. There's 2 minutes on the clock here, so the time bank is not looking good, sure. But the Justice have looked so much better at identifying win conditions for Dallas and shutting them down early. Here the positioning, the rotations are telegraphed extremely obviously from the Dallas Fuel, as the Usdo has teleport to take the high ground. How do the Justice set up for this? Mag could be a game changer, but the same could be said for Fearless. Both Rhines staring at each other from miles away, waiting for this teleporter to come down. Maybe a teleporter shatter play for the Fuel.
It's going to be dropping down, actually, just stopping the cart now. You can see the split positioning. Hanbin just holding onto the corner. He's pretty safe! Oh my word!
It's all red.
Mag is so aware that that teleport into the Earth Shatter play was happening, but the fight's not over yet. Ultimates committed on top of one another. Now you see the Blizzard also getting used. Assassin wants to try and lock them up. And again, Fury, a perfect mark onto Sparkle. Can't get away with any of the murder that he's been doing so far in this series. And when Sparkle's gone, there's nothing to disrupt Decay. Charging up the beam, shredding through them now. Washington Justice looking to try and finish this one strong, and with the ultimates they've got, Josh, it's looking highly likely.
It certainly is. It won't be as good of a time bank, but the Justice are favored to complete here. They're not going as aggressive as the Dallas Fuel were in their position, but they're still slowly making their way up towards the spawn. Another excellent Maywall traps them in. The Shatter as well knocks Fearless onto his back, and the Justice still have double support ultimate to close this one out. 30 seconds on the clock. What can the Fuel possibly do?
They're just going to try and get the touch onto it if they possibly can. Closer sends out that sound barrier. They're all so healthy. With Hanbin and Sparkle taken out, it's now up to Dallas, moving over to the stall picks. Fearless just trying to keep this one going, at least to buy a bit of time for his team to come back into it, but not enough. It's going to be the capture there for the Justice. They really stepped up there on that attacking side.
Yeah, the Justice scream out, "We're not done yet. We refuse to be sent to the lower bracket without a fight." They managed to take the first map in this series, and they've been quiet since then. The two that the Dallas Fuel took were pretty decisively in the Fuel's favor. This one, though, is certainly a battle. The Justice looked so improved in their attacking half. Everything the Fuel did on their defense, every play they made with Sparkle after checkpoint A was read and shut down immediately. This could be a bit of a turning point in terms of momentum. The Justice are now starting to get going. They look like they've stepped up into a different gear.
Exactly what they needed. They need to bring this series to the 2-2. They're desperate for it. They do not want to be going down to the lower bracket, Josh, as you were saying. It's the double elim format in the 2021 Overwatch League playoffs. So for these first round of matches that are going to be taking place here today, and remember, we got 3 more coming up after this. A lot of Overwatch is coming up soon. You know you're not going to want to miss it.
Look at this replay too. Great move. This is what I'm talking about in terms of denying Sparkle his value. It doesn't have to be closer. We've seen Fury do it as well, but scouting where he's coming from and utilizing your abilities, getting set up for his engage is really important. He's always going to go for these seismic slam then uppercuts.
I'll tell you what, I've been quite impressive closer over the course of this series. I think he's stepped up over the course of his, compared to his regular season performance, massively with the timings of this, but already it's a brawl outside the gates. The Dallas Fuel on the defense. This time they do get the opening picks that they need, but they lose Fielder in the process. Even if they win this team fight out, the Justice is just going to wait and come back in. It's a 6v5. Not a lot of time to do so, though. 35 seconds on the clock, but they are at an advantage when it comes into this next team fight.
And that is the reason that the Fuel is going for a disengage. They could still fight at the spawn, but they'd be 4v6 and almost certainly going to lose. So Dallas make the smart decision here to back off to the next corner. With these rush comps, you can force 3 fights out, and they are taking the fight even earlier than expected. Not even waiting for the corner, just slowing it down as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
that means we're going to get into overtime by the next team fight.
It's a bit of a bluff, I think, to try and force out some cooldowns from the Justice, but they don't bite. And now the fight takes place. Overtime kicking off. It's a good wall. Going to be splitting them up once more, but now the Amp Matrix off onto the side. What a freeze. Immortality Field again, though. Perfect from Fielder. Keeps his team up, but is there going to be anything for this Blizzard? Well, doesn't look likely. Already the team fight's gone the way of the Dallas Fuel there, and that is, well, every ultimate committed. They know that the team fight is done and dusted. The overtime trickles down. They're going to be stopping him just at the corner here.
And that's a great defense. The Fuel, okay, they don't manage to hold them exactly outside of spawn, but it's less than 40 meters pushed. That's a great defense, and that's the value of running Rush as well. Both of these teams so happy to opt into it. And that sets us up. I mean, it's a winnable game for either team right now on Havana. The Dallas Fuel do have a little more time in the bank, but what, only 40 seconds extra?
Yeah.
It's not a huge difference. If the Justice can get a good opening team fight, and good when we're talking about spawn camping means they cannot lose a player. They might be able to get away with Fury being demeched, but if they lose a player, then they have to back off and try and take a fight even further away. Similar to the Dallas Fuel, but the Justice are going to want to execute perfectly. And they're starting off with Decay on a hero where he can really flex his mechanical skill. It gives them an extra piece of CC. That flashbang can lock up a player on the Dallas Fuel. Help them in case Sparkle runs the Doomfist to start things off. And it also just gives you clutch potential. How many times have we seen Decay, especially in the playoffs, just come out with a miraculous couple of shots, a headshot here and there to turn the tide in their favor? They need him now more than ever.
They really do. This, well, it has to start right now here. For the Washington Justice, they need to be perfect, Josh. They need to make it happen. It needs to be a clean team fight win off the jump here. Minute 40 for Dallas Fuel. Not far at all for them to try and push this one in. You can see the Justice a little bit patient in their approach, but that is a good wall. Splits them all up. Doha is going to be potentially forcing out some cooldowns, and already that's the pick. The Immortality Field from Bebe just missed the mark. I don't think it caught onto Mag, so taken out early in this fight. Fury's going to be next as well, and the more they stagger, the less likely it looks here for the Justice.
Fury has to give his life there, though, just to slow down the objective. It's going to be ×3 on the payload, and the Dallas Fuel haven't even got it into overtime here. The Justice are not just going to have to win one team fight, they've got to win multiple. And that means Fury has to come back on Wrecking Ball. This is crazy scenarios. And they don't touch! They don't touch!
Oh my word.
What a way. What an unbelievable way for the Justice to go down into the lower bracket.
I don't know what to say.
Their backs were already up against the wall. They were already not favored to be in that position. Fury coming back on Wrecking Ball too, but you can see it written across their faces. A shock. Head in the hands for Closer as well, who played an excellent game, it's got to be said. But in those final moments, that communication just slips through the cracks and there was no one there to contest the objective. A good old-fashioned Charlie Niner to start things off.
For the first match, Josh, of the Overwatch League 2021 playoffs, a Charlie Niner.
It's going to get crazy.
To send Washington to the lower bracket.
It's going to get crazier than this.
You've got to be kidding me.
Strap yourselves in, everybody, because this is only the beginning. The Dallas Fuel continue on, and my word, what good form they seem to be in.
I mean, that's just astounding. And look at them up in their seats. I mean, they really did play very well. I think the Dallas Fuel here pulling out a variety of different looks, honestly, across the board. And the Justice a little bit too rigid when they were trying to lean a lot into those comps. I mean, really, the adaptations that were being made was mainly Decay kind of swapping over to one role or the other, but Dallas Fuel looking like they are in prime condition, possibly looking as good as they did back into the May Melee right at the beginning of the year. It's so surprising as well, considering the limiting factors. I know Pine is on this roster, but it's unlikely with the amount of scrim time that they actually have that he comes reintroduced into the team. And still, with all those limitations of Dallas Fuel, they look excellent.
Yeah, this team is so smart at being able to find compositions that fit them. And that's why, I mean, that's a big reason why Rush is your coach of the year for the regular season 2021. Whether or not he's going to be able to do it towards the playoffs is a different story, but for now, the Dallas Fuel are looking great, and they are still finding win conditions built around their star players.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of star players, it's time for our player of the match presented by Xfinity. And yeah, this guy, you already know who it's going to be. When we mentioned the star player, it's Sparkle. I mean, what an outstanding performance on the pocket pick. You know he likes to play the Doomfist all the time. I made numerous mentions to it about how he has been buffed coming into this patch as well, that we're playing on the playoffs as well. Gets his cooldowns back faster in the ultimates. But that's not what makes Sparkle so good, honestly. It's an extra buff, I suppose, to him, but it's how he coordinates with the rest of the team, how he finds the right angles to engage. He's always at the right place at the right time, and he's getting immense amounts of work done.
Yeah, when the Fuel are at their peak, there are few teams in the league that could boast the same level of coordination and aggression.
Yeah.
And the Doomfist is just a perfect addition to any comp that likes to play with a lot of pace, high tempo, and also a huge amount of coordination to finish the team fights very quickly. His Doomfist stats are just insane. 13 final blows for 10 minutes, by the way.
Yeah.
And even though he is the tip of the spear, being the one to engage all the time, he's still only dying. I mean, okay, the deaths look fairly high, 8.6 deaths per 10, but with the amount of work he's getting done and how quickly they take team fights and the tempo they play at, I think that's still a really good stat. You put most other players on Doom in those kind of scenarios, they are not going to be able to put up those same level of numbers, but also just impact. And you could tell towards Havana, when they started to get good reads on where Sparkle was coming from and shut him down, that it looked more competent. The Washington Justice looked like they had a better read on how to try and handle the Dallas Fuel's aggression. But for those earlier maps, they just didn't have a chance.
No, I mean, it was just so incredibly one-sided. Coming up, we have an interview with Fearless, and it looks like my cardigan has disappeared out of surprise at the Charlie Niner. So, yeah, we've got that to look forward to. But again, remember, everybody, it's the Overwatch League 2021 playoffs. Even more matches being played today. 3 more coming up after this one. So you know you're not going to want to miss it. Well, stay tuned. We'll be coming up in just a few minutes.
야 오른쪽에 너 숨어 있는 거 아니야? 야 메인 오심이야 메인 오심 아니야? 야 이번에 대체 하나 비냉차 비냉으로 가자. 내가 더 빨라. 못 먹어 비냉 더 빨라. 비냉 볼 있다 볼. 아 맥크리치 혼자 맥크리치 혼자. 나가 내렸어. 라인 볼게 라인 천천히. 나이스. 뭐야?
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Xfinity, the preferred internet provider of the Overwatch League. Hello and welcome to our game break here on our Watchpoint deck, not desk. That's right, we traded. We traded up, I think.
It was an upgrade.
Definitely an upgrade. We got sand as well. Sand, we can touch some grass. Like, life is good out here in Hawaii, I tell you that. Life is also good if you're playing for the Dallas Fuel, as they won their first bout. We did all predict the Dallas Fuel, but still reinforce a few thoughts on those first looks from the Washington Justice. How do you feel they fared?
It was a very interesting match because I think both of these teams, they were unknown quantities going into the playoffs, of course. Washington Justice, we talked about them already. Are they going to show up for real or are they not? The Dallas Fuel, they had most of their peaks early on in the season. They won the May Melee, they made it to the finals of the June Joust. But the later half of the season, they didn't look quite as good. So the big question going into this match was what Washington are going to see, what Dallas Fuel are we going to see. And I think Dallas Fuel, they showed us a real good Rhino composition, bringing out that Symmetra as well. And the aggression was there, especially in King's Row. So I feel like we got two good showings from both teams.
Yeah, I do want to add on to that as well. It was a very interesting look for the Washington Justice because they really came out with Mag on that Reinhardt and they refused to switch. And, you know, at first I was like, wow, this is the Washington Justice I can get behind. Maybe they were going to flip on us again. But it worked in the first map, especially on the back of Decay's Symmetra. But after that, it started teetering off. Dallas Fuel started coming up with solutions. And the adaptation just wasn't there for the Justice.
Yeah, we will be talking a little bit more about it. But first, we do have an interview with Daniel Fearless standing by.
Yeah, everybody, I think Fearless is ready to go. Let's go hear what Fearless has to say about this match and about the playoffs in general. Here we go. Fearless, hello! Congratulations on the win and thank you for doing this interview. Fearless 선수 인터뷰에 응해주셔서 너무 감사드리고 오늘 승리 너무 축하드립니다.
네, 감사합니다.
All right, Fearless says thank you. So, Fearless, we haven't seen Dallas for quite a while. I think it's been, 6-7 weeks. It's been close to about 2 months. What have you guys been working on during the break? 첫 번째 질문, Fearless 선수, 저희가 되게 오랜만에 달라스 팀을 만나는 것 같아요. 이제 뭐 6-7주 정도 안 봤나 했다가 이제 되게 오랜만에 달라스의 경기를 보게 됐는데 쉬는 기간 동안 좀 무엇을 하셨는지 또 어떤 거를 좀 연습을 하셨는지 궁금하네요.
예, 그냥 쉬는 동안 뭐라 해야 될까? 이번에 이제 플레이오프가 저희 마지막이기 때문에 정말 거의 웬만해서 연습만 하면서 지냈던 것 같습니다. 꼭 우승하기 위해서 연습을 많이 했습니다.
All right. During the break, I mean, this is it. Everyone knows for our team, Dallas Fuel, the playoffs, the season playoffs, this is where it all matters, and this is the last chance that we have to win it all. So during the long break, we really spent a lot of time just practicing and grinding to give the best results in our matches for the playoffs. Now, I want to quickly follow up on that. We've seen today in today's match something very interesting. We've seen Dallas play the Wrecking Ball dive comp a couple of times. Was that something that you guys prepared? I know you said you guys practiced a lot. Was that some of the focus that went into the practice that you were mentioning? 그거에 대해서 조금 더 방금 이제 필러스 선수가 말씀해 주셨던 질문에 조금 더 제가 보태자면은 오늘 좀 굉장히 좀 어떻게 보면 되게 재밌는 조합을 좀 본 것 같아요. 달라스가 지금까지 어떻게 보면은 레킹볼 조합을 쓰지 않다가 오늘 워싱턴을 상대로 그 레킹볼 다이브 조합을 좀 굉장히 많이 썼었는데 어떻게 이 레킹볼 조합이 좀 아까 말씀하신 그 연습에 좀 중요한 포인트였나요?
예, 저희가 뭐지 항상 레킹볼 조합 많이 부족하다는 얘기를 많이 들어가지고 이번에는 레킹볼을 위주로 더 준비도 많이 했고 이것저것 다 할 수 있는 팀이 되기 위해서 열심히 준비했던 것 같습니다.
Yes. During the end of or throughout the regular season, people were talking that the Dallas Fuel team, one of the downsides of our team is that our wrecking ball dive composition were lacking. So we didn't really like that. We wanted to strengthen that. So not only the wrecking ball dive composition, but that wasn't the only thing that we practiced. We prepared a lot of different compositions to become a team that's really well-rounded and that's really good at any sort of composition for any of the matches. All right. One last question for you, Fearless. Washington, of course, I quickly want to talk about this match as well. Washington, they came out very strong on Lijiang, but you guys were able to turn the tables as we went into the second map, which was Volskaya. What adjustments did you guys have to make after losing map 1? 마지막 질문은 오늘 워싱턴 경기에서 첫 번째 맵에 리장에서 살짝 이제 워싱턴이 좀 굉장히 센 모습으로 좋은 모습으로 이렇게 나왔다가 이제 달라스 팀이 이제 두 번째 맵인 볼스카에 들어가면서 조금 더 달라스 진짜 위력을 좀 발휘했다고 저는 생각이 드는데요. 리장을 이렇게 아쉽게 진 다음에 좀 어떤 조정을 하셨나요?
네, 일단 저희는 이건 리장 타워를 이제 저희가 고른 거기 때문에 저희가 1라운드도 가져가고 해서 꼭 이길 거라 생각했는데 졌잖아요. 그래가지고 두 번째 라운드 하기 전에 다들 너무 화가 나가지고 다음 라운드는 죽기 살기로 했던 것 같습니다.
All right, so Lijiang was actually our pick, the Dallas Fuel team's pick. So after winning round 1, we were sort of confident that we were going to lose. We didn't really expect to lose a map, but after losing round 2, I honestly think all of our teammates and including myself were sort of angry. We were mad that we lost, so after that we just went back in, focused up, and just gave it our all. That's how we won against the Washington Justice. All right, Fearless, thank you so much for your answers, and good luck tomorrow as well. 자, 인터뷰해 주셔서 너무 감사드리고 Fearless 선수 다시 한번 승리 너무나 축하드립니다.
감사합니다.
All right, thank you so much. Let's head back to the deck, not the desk.
It's weird when you say head back, but we're like you're here.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe I should change that. We're like, okay, let's go back.
We need new catchphrase. I don't know. So this is our bracket as is stands right now. Dallas Fuel, of course, winning their first match. Moving on. Justice isn't out yet, however. This is, of course, double elimination, so they will get another chance of staying alive in the playoffs. But Kasta, you started a really interesting point right before we headed to the interview. I'd really like you to elaborate a little bit on what you're starting talking about in terms of compositions we've seen from both of those teams.
Yeah, as I said, Washington Justice were very rigid in the way in which they wanted to play behind Mag with his shield. They did some adaptation with their backline and with their DPS. They were willing to play like the McCree and that kind of stuff. But unfortunately, the Dallas Fuel, they download you as time goes on. They start working out how to sort of beat the way you're playing. I think Sparkle's Doomfist was instrumental in that, playing so aggressive, and it sort of forced the Washington Justice off of the comfort of that Symmetra and that Mei, because they didn't have any tools to deal with Sparkle, and Sparkle just went sicko mode time after time, just really utilizing those buffs to Doomfist with his ultimate and just sort of always applying pressure. And I think that is a great look for the Dallas Fuel, especially hearing more from Fearless as well. He said they worked in this off-season to really round out how they were playing the game and the compositions. And the one thing that stood out to me is him saying, we are comfortable playing the Wrecking Ball. They are going to need that in the playoffs, because I think if anything we learned from this match is you can't just one-trick a composition all the way to the end. You're going to need to be able to play multiple things, and Dallas Fuel showed that today.
Absolutely. Versatility is the name of the game. Same for the weather here, by the way.
Yeah,
raining.